everybody from overcast but still very beautiful central Portugal. Welcome to my latest video. This video sees me create a dust storm inside my house as I grind out the bottom of the shower. I put the pipes through the wall for the taps. I finally take the drain out and see what the heck is happening under there to create these moisture issues. I also finally get a nice sunny day to take the Engwe e-bike out for a spin, and I'll take you around my beautiful neighborhood and show you some of the lovely scenery around here. And this video even has a dragon. So I hope you enjoy this one. If you do, please do give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you have friends or enemies or anyone you know that's into natural building, homesteading, this kind of thing, please do share my channel around. I would love to get the word out to more people. I'm on the push for 10,000 subscribers, and I've had a little flurry of activity, and I'm excited to keep that going. So that's enough of the shameless self-promotion. I hope you like the video, and I'll see you again at the end. It's a beautiful evening, and I'm finally ready to take this Engwe e-bike out for a ride. At first, I couldn't charge it because the solar was not cooperating. The skies were too gloomy to get the battery charged. And then for the past week, it's been raining, so I intended on taking this thing out in December, and I'm only finally getting to it now. But I'm super excited because this thing, though it's classified as an e-bike, it's got fat tires, and it looks kind of like a little mini motorcycle, like a scooter. So I'm gonna see what this thing can do, take it around the beautiful back streets, around my neighborhood on this beautiful night, and see what there is to see. I've got the dorky camera mount on top of my bicycle helmet, so you'll see what I see. Let's go exploring. I've made a horrible mistake. Looks like this is Bramble Alley, but I know the end is not far, so maybe I'll just walk until I get out of this danger zone. But I gotta say, guys, this thing is incredibly fun. I'm stuck. Almost there. Ow! Oh God. Whew. Okay, not coming down here again, even though it is a shortcut to my house, and even though it is very beautiful. Get out of my way. Ah! Ah! Okay. Well, that was a little bit adventurous. Okay, let's go. Oh wow, this thing is so much fun. Thanks, Engwe. This is a nice bit of kit. I'm excited to take it out again and again, learn more about it, and to explore the area a lot more in the future on this bike, and to take you with me to some parts that I haven't yet explored as well, because I've been riding for 8 kilometers, 26 minutes, and miraculously the battery is on 100%. So I think this bike also has energy recapture as I pedal, and I did do quite a bit of pedaling, and I did mostly pedaling with the aid of the bike rather than just using it as a scooter full power. So it's at 100%, and that tells me that I can take this thing far and wide and take it out for long trips and do a lot of exploring. So I'm a big fan of this thing, in case you can't tell, and tomorrow I'll give a bit more info about it and maybe do a spin around my neighborhood and film the bike in action from the road as opposed to from my helmet. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more work on the shower and a bit more e-bike talk. Good morning. It's about 10:30 and it is quite cold out here. And I've got the fire on. I've brought up a wheelbarrow of firewood to last me for the day. And I've closed the door in an effort to keep the cozy warm air inside, because I'm going to be spending a bunch of time working inside on the shower. I'm going to try to figure out this taps situation, try to get the pipes put into the wall, and I'm hoping that's going to solve one of the biggest problems that I've been dealing with so far, which I'll explain in a minute. But first, let me introduce you to this guy. His name is Pickles, and he was made for me by my friend Tegan, who does all kinds of cool costumes. She ships internationally. She makes amazing stuff. She also does clothing, cushions, curtains, all of the wonderful things that a seamstress can do. And I was lucky enough to be able to trade this little fella, Pickles, for a bag of my pickles. I love bartering, she loves bartering, and it's always nice to be able to, first of all, support a local friend who makes cool things, and also get stuff that I make for my garden out to people who appreciate it. And if you're wondering what the purpose of Pickles is, he is a draft excluder for the bottom of my door. And it's cold today, so this guy is gonna be hanging out down there. The cats are quite afraid of him. They don't really know what to think of him, but I'm kind of in love. He's pretty cool, and he's gonna be doing some work today because it's nippy out here. The sun isn't out yet, and it's always a lot colder in the house in the mornings than it is outside. So you've got your work cut out for you, buddy, but I think you're up to the task. So let's go into the shower and see what I'm dealing with and get to work. Come on, Pickles. There you go, little guy. Nice and cozy. So, what are we dealing with here? I have these pipes that I put through the wall with great effort quite a while ago, and you'll notice that it's sort of a gray electrical conduit and then the stainless steel pipe. These haven't been fastened on yet because I didn't have the tools or the strength, but my intention is to fasten the gray pipes into the wall permanently so that the steel pipe can move in and out. And that just means that if something happens with the pipes, they'll be a lot easier to replace. The tricky part is lining the pipes up so that they fit correctly into the tap it's going to go on. So I have a plan for that, but first, let me show you the problem I'm trying to solve. It's down here, and it's pretty scary looking. You can see a lot of moisture around the drain area, and my original suspicion was that the guttering outside was dropping water into the corner of the house and somehow is affecting this. But I've steered the water further away, so I don't think it's that. Now my theory is two things. When I have a shower, it goes in that hole and seeps down and goes back kind of under the floor. And my second theory is outside. This is my very janky gutter solution. So the water goes a little bit further away. Previously it was just dropping it all right down there. And my theory for why things are getting wet in the shower involves this hole. I guess I'm thinking that perhaps when it rains, there's not a lot of overhang up there. Water comes in this fairly giant hole, and then the inside of these walls is just dirt. So I'm thinking it trickles down and seeps out the bottom and somehow goes into the concrete floor. I really don't know, but it's an easy enough thing to fix. So I'm gonna block up this hole, put the pipes in, seal it all off, and then I can cross that off my list as a possible cause of the problem. And if fixing the gaping hole on the outside of the wall doesn't solve this problem, I guess my next solution is to dig it up and see what's going on, which is fine because I have to dig it up anyway. Also, I still need to grind the bottom to be more of a flat surface, which I'm not looking forward to. Okay, time to deal with this, and I have a plan. And my plan involves yet another product that I've had kicking around my place for a really, really long time, and finally I'm hoping to actually use it. It's the tap, and my theory is that if I can fasten the tap into place, get it all lined up, get it all leveled, get it screwed in very lightly, that's gonna tell me where the pipes need to be. I can fill in the hole and remove the tap after it all hardens and carry on with the work. It seems logical in my head. It seems like it could work. I guess I just get the connector pieces, get it all lined up, get it screwed in, cover it all up. One thing that's kind of annoying is that I'm pretty sure I bought a tap that's for a bathtub instead of for a shower. So this is gonna stick out in this direction, which is kind of weird. I feel like for a shower, it's more likely that it should go down there in that direction. So I don't know, kind of annoying. If it ends up being a pain, if I keep banging into this thing, I'll just swap it out in the future and maybe someone wants to buy or trade for this one. But for the moment, it's what I have. I'm pretty sure the spacers are standard on every tap, and the connectors can also be swiveled around a little bit. So let me get the connector and I'll show you what I have in mind. So this is the connector bit. I think this goes in here with a washer, and then this will go in there. And I'll get it all attached. I'll push it into the distance that I want. Even though these can come in and out, I'll want the plastic in at a certain distance, and then I'll fill in the hole. So let's give it a go. Now before we get started, I completely forgot I haven't yet shown the finished layer of my bottle wall. This isn't the final way it's gonna look. Luckily lime is quite soft for a long time, and it can be clawed off and refined later on. There's gonna be more layers, so I'll perfect everything at the final layer. But for now, I just wanna make sure the bottles are clean and that there's lime on there to build off of later on, or to scrape away and rebuild later on. So the bottles are covered I think it's looking pretty cool. I'm happy with the progress on this, and I won't be working on this again until this current layer has a chance to dry. And then at that point, I'm going to whip around the entire shower with one big layer that's fused all together, let that dry, learn how to do Titleact, and then put the final waterproofing coat on after that. So here we go. This is the shower side of the bottle wall, more or less complete. And now let's take a tap on the pipes. I feel like this might scratch easily, so let's put its little sock back on, hopefully to protect it a bit. So these are looking pretty wonky on the outside, which does give me some fear. I suppose I haven't checked the level of the tap going that way. Yeah, I kind of don't really know what I'm doing here. My instinct is telling me that what's happening on the outside doesn't matter. These pipes will be cut off eventually. I can connect the future plumbing situation that's going to be over here to these pipes. If these pipes don't work for some reason, the plastic's in there and I can put different pipes in that are longer. Yeah, who knows? But before I mess around too much with the front part getting it all perfect, I should probably mess around with the back part, claw out the loose stuff so that when I pack it with lime, it actually goes against the pipe and not against some loose stones. So perhaps I should have thought of that before, but I feel like it'll be okay. Still level. What is my next move? I think I'll start packing lime in from the outside. And because lime doesn't solidify super quickly, it'll give me some wiggle room and I can perfect things, hopefully from this side, as it hardens. This may be a good plan, this may be a horrible plan. As always, time will tell. So I've just taken a break, I've had some lunch, and I busted out the instruction manual for the Engwe e-bike that I have. It's here, ready to roll, because I need to go get some pine needles from my friend Sanchez's place. And why walk there when I can ride the new e-bike? Before I take this thing for a spin down the road, let's just chat about it a little bit, and then we'll go to Sanchez and I'll stock up on more pine needles for my fire. Engwe have a really nice variety of fat tire e-bikes. This one is the Engine Pro. It costs 1,349 euros on the website, and it's got big fat tires, which is amazing. And this one is foldable as well. So it makes it very versatile if you want to take it in your car up a mountain or something and go exploring places that are a little far from your house. So I really like that about it. It's got these wonderful leather hand grips that are great. The screen is super bright. The acceleration control thing is here instead of a throttle on the handle, which I feel like gives the rider a bunch more control. And the specs for the bike say it's for heights between 5'4" and 6'2", but I actually feel like I need to put the seat up. I was a bit scared that the bike would be too large for me just by looking at it, but honestly it's perfect. I feel totally in control of this thing. And it really, really was a lot of fun to ride yesterday. I haven't busted this thing out at night yet, but I did have the light on in my house, and a lot of the reviews I've read say the light's really, really good. Plus, the back of the bike, the pannier rack, is super beefy, and I actually think I can probably come up with some way to attach my blue water, drinking water bottles onto this, so that when I need to resupply my water, I don't have to take my car out, I can just take the bike. Another thing about this was the ease of assembly. It came mostly assembled, so I think the back tire was on, everything was together with the back, all good down here, and all I had to do was put the front tire on, assemble this part, and put the seat on and put the pedals on. So it was really, really easy. I was a bit nervous about that because assembling bikes is one of my great pet peeves in life. It's got hydraulic disc brakes. I had no problems braking yesterday, even when I was booting it down the hills and had to stop. It's got a nice chunky kickstand, and yeah, the big fat tires make it really, really comfortable to ride. So I've got some pine needle bags ready to go. I'm gonna raise the seat up and we're gonna take this thing down to Sanchez and resupply. So the bike does come with all the tools you need to do the assembly, which is really, really handy. But in this case, since I've already got the bike seat on the way it's supposed to be, I can just open the lever and pull it up and then close it again. So I could have actually done this yesterday while I was on my ride, but for some reason, I thought I needed a tool. I was wrong, and now I'm ready to go. So I've got my work gloves slash bike gloves because it's still pretty cold out here. Helmet on. Let's go. I love this thing. It's such a good bike. It's really fun, which I said before. Another thing somebody said in the comments, actually I think a few people mentioned it, is that it would be a good little thing to attach a trailer onto to maybe haul some things around between our land, or even bringing some heavy things up from the bottom of my land to the top. I have a lot of rock moving in my future, and I'm wondering if I could attach something to the bike. Just give it a little extra power as I pull up, and yeah, pull some rocks around. Nothing too heavy, nothing too crazy, but yeah, just having this little extra motor assistance could make things easier. The wheelbarrow, though I do love it, isn't really so suitable for rocks, so if I can attach something onto this thing, that would be pretty cool. I'm really excited to have this thing. There's details below, all the links you'll need to all the information you might want. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, it's got a pretty sweet horn as well. So I'm going up to the forest, gonna get some needles, and then I'm gonna be back in the shower. So I've been shoving stones in the front part and trying to make it so the pipes are really, really sturdy into the wall. They're not going to move around too much. And I have them level this way on the inside, but it's a little bit squinty, tilting forward. I'm sure it's probably fine. I'm sure it's probably fine. Famous last words. So now I'm going to pack this hole with some lime and some stones, and hopefully I can get at least the interior part done. I don't want to do out too far because it's supposed to rain for the next week, and I don't want it to wash away. So I think that'll do. Got that in there pretty tightly with the rocks that I've bashed in with the stick. And I don't want any of the stuff in the front to wash away, so let's just leave this for now. Hopefully these pipes are in pretty sturdy. Hopefully things aren't gonna move around too much, and then I'll come back in a couple of days and finish this off with some big stones. It's supposed to rain pretty hard for the next week, and I don't want the lime washing away, as I said, so I'm gonna leave it as it is. I might cover this up with something, stuff a bag in there or something that'll allow the water to run off rather than going in the hole, and it'll also allow me to assess the inside, see how wet it gets around the drain, and then make a call on what I want to do and any other tests that I need to run in order to solve the problem. But I'm really hopeful that this is going to do the trick, and yeah, this is a job I've been meaning to do for a very, very long time. So I'm going to call this one done. The pipes are in. I still have a bunch of work to do on the other side, but that's going to come when I actually do the rendering of the wall. So on to the next thing. I guess it's going to have to be grinding the bottom of the shower, which is something I have not been looking forward to. It makes my place so dusty. But I can't tile until I get that done, so let's grind some stone. But before I get into the grinding, let's see if this thing is still more or less level. It is! So this hasn't moved around at all in the front, as far as I can tell, even though I've been poking some rocks pretty hard back there. So I think this might be going to plan, which is pretty cool. Oh, and obviously I need a shower head. That's going to be a unit that bolts into the wall or screws into the wall, and then it's got a cord that runs down and it detaches underneath. So I still need to buy this unit, and I obviously can't finish this off until I do. So that's on my list as well. I need to take a trip into the big city soon, so hopefully I can pick one up. What do you think of Pickles? You just want to go outside, don't you? Oh, you're friends. You are such a friendly little kitty. You even get along with dragons. Out you go. Bye. So I've been inside for a little while, focused on wrapping my place up to a dubious standard to try to keep the dust out. So I've got some sheets up over here, which won't do very much. I'm hoping I can contain most of the dust in here beneath the tarp. So I've got this extra layer of defense that I haven't had before, and hopefully it means that the dust doesn't travel too far. I'm going to use my big grinder this time because I don't have a lot of power on my solar system, and this has a larger blade. I don't love this grinder. It's a bit too big for me. It's quite bulky. It's definitely a handle operation. I need that to be able to kind of lift it up and keep control of it. But it's got a 125 mil blade instead of 115, and I'm hoping that's going to allow me to cut through the stone a bit easier. And coming beyond the tarp into the shower, my plan is basically just to grind this surface flat, take off the stone parts that are sticking out, especially in the corner there, and a little bit of this big one here. And the reason for this is that you don't want, first of all, it needs to be flat to put the tiles on, or flat-ish, but the main reason is that as the water sheds down the wall, you don't want it sitting on a little lip. I want to be able to build the lime so that it curves over top of the tiles and then runs down the tiles rather than sitting on top of any kind of little, ridge or anything like that. So I need to grind it down. I'm also going to build the walls out a bit more, so I don't need to go as far in as maybe I thought I did. The grinding part of this operation is absolutely 100% going to suck, and it's too dark in here and too small of a space to film, so I'm just going to get on with it. You've seen the before, and I'll check in again when I'm ready to move on to chipping the pieces out. Rather than trying to grind the entire stone face away, I'm going to do sort of stripes and come back at it with a hammer and chisel and just knock them out. And excitingly, I'm also going to tackle the drain. I'm just going to take it out. I don't know what's going on under there. Who knows where this water is coming from. And it's got to come out anyway, so it might as well be today. And I might as well get all of my grinding, all of my chipping and all of that annoying stuff done in the shower tray so that I can hopefully get the new drain in sooner rather than later. So I'm gonna grind and I'll see you soon. As I've mentioned many times before, this is not fun. It's very slow. I'm basically doing 2 minutes of grinding and then literally letting the dust settle for 20 minutes or more. And I've been going around my garden doing some pruning while I wait out in the fresh air. It stopped raining, but it still is very gloomy out here and gloomy in there. But the dust has settled and I think I can move on to a bit of chipping. So let's go see where we're at and hopefully I can get some of these stones detached. The tarp is helping contain the dust to in here, but of course, if it's all contained in there, and if I'm in here with the dust, it makes it really, really hard to see. So I've cut some stripes, and now let's chisel. Oops, I forgot that I put wire mesh in here, so that could complicate things a little bit. So this is the concrete side. I'll just keep working away at that. It's soft, it's just a little awkward in the corners, and the wire mesh makes it tricky as well. And then over here, we've got the stone. So let's give this a little bashy and see if I can get it apart. Luckily, this granite seems like it's pretty soft relative to some of the other stuff that's super, super hard and difficult to get through. This one's bashing away quite nicely. So it seems like grinding the stripes and chipping it out is the way to go. This is going reasonably okay as long as I evacuate this area after I do a bit of grinding and let the dust settle. So I'm just going to keep at it. You'll see it again when it's hopefully finished because I've got a lot of work ahead of me and I'd really, really love to get this done today. It's raining outside, but it's super dusty in the house, and I'm out here in the polytunnel just to try to escape the dust, let it settle down before I go back in and do one final chipping session. I'm almost there. This job is what I believe they call in the building industry a complete and total pain in the ass. It sucks, but I'm almost done, and once this is finished, I'll be so happy. So I've got a bit more to do, as I said. I'm going to finish it up tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to hack the drain out in the morning as well, because tonight I'm going to have one final shower before I tear everything up, try to get this new drain in, but I don't know what's happening down there, so that could be something that takes a long time. So I have one more shower ahead of me, and then from here on out, for the foreseeable future, for who knows how long, it'll be bucket showers, and hoping that friends take pity upon me and allow me to shower at their places, which happens a lot, so it's okay. So I'm tired. I'll go in. I'm very tired. Let's go inside. I'll show you what I've done and then show you what I still need to do and then have a shower and say goodnight and rest because, as I said, I'm quite tired. It's been a long day. Hello, sir. What do you think of all this noise and dust? The cats have made themselves very scarce today because it's pretty grindy, noisy, dusty, and quite horrible in there. But once it settles, and I hope it does soon, I hope it has already, it'll be okay. I have a lot of cleaning in my future, so yeah, grinding stone sucks. Got all my tools down there and amongst the dust. This tarp solution did contain most of the dust in here, but as I mentioned, it made in here kind of unbearable. So I've managed to make the bottom part flat-ish. I've grinded the stones away to an adequate level, I think, especially considering that I'm going to build this wall out a bit more. That was always my intention, and that's good news because there's actually a lot of cracks that have formed, especially down here, as I've been hacking away at this stone. So you can see them here. So I'm going to want to build this out a little bit more. I might even put some reinforcing mesh in there. I'm not sure. So I'm happy with how things have gone. I'll probably do a little bit of refining tomorrow morning, but my main focus tomorrow is going to be getting this drain out of here, seeing what's happening under here with the moisture, and trying to think of how to get the new drain in and how to, I don't know, make this all nice and flat to lay the tiles. But I won't really know more until I get this drain out. So I'm happy with the work that I've got done today. It's been a really, really busy, long day. And the drain is my focus for tomorrow morning. So I'll see you then. Good morning from a new day. I have one task and one task only. Let's get this drain out. The new drain will go in hopefully in the next video, but for now I just want to see what's up and get things moving. This drain sucks because it's cheap, it's small, it's got this little flap in the center that looks like it's about to break off. For reasons I cannot figure out, it traps the water around the outside and there's no drain hole, so it just sits there until the next time someone has a shower. And yeah, it just pretty much sucks, but it's all I could find. I ended up just buying something nicer online. Let's get rid of this guy. I'm done with you, crappy drain. On to bigger and better things. Also got some more wire mesh there for some reason. I really forget what I actually did, and the drain itself is very shallow, so I have a feeling I'm going to have to raise this floor up quite a lot because the other drain is a lot bigger. And if I can keep this drain intact and not destroy it in the process of getting this out, then that will be very, very good news. So it's time to take these gigantic tools and try to be a little bit gentle, if that's possible. I just realized that I'll have to claw out a bit more in the front, so I'm able to pull the drain forward. So back to the grinder. So this is a bit trickier, a bit more time consuming than I was expecting. I'm gonna keep at it, and you'll see me again when the drain is banished from the bottom of the shower tray. So with quite a bit of effort, I've excavated the crap out of this thing, and I think the drain is almost ready to come out. It is a bit frustrating though that I've spent so much time taking this drain out and grinding the bottom of the shower, because these are decisions that I made way back when that had I given them more thought or just made a different decision early on, I wouldn't have to do this now. But it's all part of the learning process, I think. I don't think I ever would have known about the drain had I not tried it out. The reason I had the grate off of the top is that it just didn't drain very quickly and it would block the water, and it was very annoying. But amazingly, the concrete underneath isn't wet at all. So I think the problem was where the concrete tray met the circle part of the drain, and because I didn't have the top part on, it would possibly go in between, wetting the surface level of the concrete and leaving that weird wet patch. So the great news is that I don't think I have any moisture issues at all. It was all surface level and everything looks nice and dry beneath, and so that's a problem I don't have to solve. But I think this thing is finally ready to come loose, so let's give it a try. So that was a lot easier than I expected. I was pretty sure that I was going to destroy this pipe. I didn't really remember how I fastened everything in, but this all looks really good. And I've got the connector pipes for the new drain. I've got enough pieces that I can hopefully steer it out a little bit more to give me some more space to work. But I'm really happy to see that there's no moisture issues down here. And I'm really happy to see that I've got a working drain. And I'm really happy to have this piece of crap drain out of my life forever. And in my next video, I guess we'll be putting in the new drain, which should be rather adventurous. So the drain is out, and I really couldn't be happier with how that went. It doesn't take much, apparently, to make me happy. I was expecting that to be way harder than it was, and I'm just excited to continue on and put the new drain in, whereas before I was kind of dreading that job. So onward to the next project, putting the drain in, more work on the shower tray, possibly raising the floor up, and then I might even also move over to some carpentry work in the bathroom side of things as well. I'm really eager to get some tiles laid. I've never done it before, and I'm excited to work on that job. So I'm just going to keep pushing on in the shower until I'm at that stage, until I have some tiles on the floor. So that's all from this video. It's been a really long one, and it's been a packed couple of days for me. Very busy, very tiring, and surprisingly sore on the body being hunched over in the shower like that. So I'm going to rest up. I'll probably head into town, do some chores, do some laundry, go grocery shopping, and take it easy for the rest of the day. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give it a like, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.